Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wrassle Graps. My name is Chris,
My name is Vincent.
and we're bringing it back. Wrassle Recap. I don't know if it'll be a weekly thing. We stopped doing it for a little while just because, doing the recap show, it's a lot of work with
It really isn't
finding.
a lot of work. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a lot of work in the sense that I forget to look up the stories, and you get stuck doing it, and I feel kind of bad about it. And
Honestly, I just go on Twitter and whatever pops up, I'm like, that sounds interesting.
well, yeah, that too. But the thing is, we were gonna do an AEW review. We really were, but AEW, we both sat down, we both watched it over Discord. And it's actually so bad that we decided we're not going to do a whole episode on this. We're just going to do a Wrassle recap and talk about that. We're going to talk about the Young Bucks stuff with the Brawl, the all-in footage. We're going to talk about some WWE stuff in the mix. And we decided that's how we're going to do this.
Exactly. I mean, that show was god awful.
It wasn't good. They even tried to do their own little version of finishing the story with Samoa Joe and Dustin, and it was dumb. It
And
was
Dustin
not
did
good.
not finish the story.
Not even close.
Quite the
He
opposite.
did have blood, though. That is the thing that happened.
He's a member of the bloodline, that's for sure.
I mean, he's Cody's bloodline. I guess that's fair enough.
Speaking of member of the blood, no, imagine.
Maybe, maybe. So let's just hop into it. We're all here to talk about one thing. Let's get straight into it. The all-in footage. Young Buck said we're gonna release it. Tony Khan said we're releasing it. We're gonna do it on television. They advertised it. You thought it was gonna be a swerve. I thought it might be too, but I was kind of saying, probably not. And it wasn't a swerve. They went for it and they did it. And it backfired on them terribly, as we all knew it would.
Well, anybody could have seen that this was going to go horribly wrong if they went through with it. And they
Funny
went
thing
through with
is,
it.
anyone could have, except for Tony Khan and the Young Bucks. I don't
I
know.
bet they were sweating the whole day. Like, I bet they were sweating thinking about it. Or they were like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to embarrass that fool. We're going to tell everybody that it's not to embarrass him, but it's to build up a story between you and FTR.
This feels like an impulse thing that Tony Khan did, right? He sent it out, he tweeted out, and Young Bucks got on board. And then the day after, they're like, what did we do? This is a terrible idea. We can't take it back now. We kind of gotta just go with it. How are we gonna do this? It's to build up you and FTR. Sure, that's good enough. Run with it. You know. But
Maybe that's what happened. But I feel like they could have just said, you know what? We're not going to do that. Scratch that. And it would have been fine with me. You know what I mean? Like, mistakes were made, for sure. But at least you decided not to do it.
I would have respected Tony Khan more for saying, you know what, we're not doing this. If he said, we were gonna, but then we thought about it and we realized it's kind of not a good idea, so we're gonna take that back. We're sorry for disappointed. I would have appreciated that more. Um,
Exactly. Yeah. I think I would have been like, okay, I'm cool with that.
yeah, and we saw the footage. It was 30 seconds, 10 seconds of fight. It's CM Punk doing exactly what he said. He choked out Jack Perry just a little bit,
A little bit.
just a little. Samoa Joe broke it up. A bunch of other guys were there. Hook was there, just kind of watching, being Hook. Uh, Cassius Ono was there. I forget his real name. Chris Hero. There you go.
Who should have? How does that come to your mind before Chris Hero?
Because I remember the theme song from WWE. Remember that theme song?
Oh no, that was actually that's back when WWE theme songs made sense.
That was a CFO dollar sign theme song. That was a good one.
That was not bad,
So
even though he didn't do much in NXT.
no, he didn't. I don't know if it's because of medical stuff or if just because they had nothing for him. But I do wish he got a better run.
Like both runs, he had two runs, and they were both okay. The first one better than the second.
The only thing I
Maybe I don't
remember,
remember really, to be honest.
the only thing I remember is him losing to the Velveteen Dream. That is all.
No, don't. You shouldn't have brought up his name, to be honest.
We all know what happened. We look before everything came out. We were all Velveteen Dream fans at one point before the bad stuff happened. Like we can all
Uh,
admit that. I think.
Look, that's true, right? But the bad stuff happened.
I'm not gonna. It didn't. I just like I can't sit here and say that what he did didn't happen. I can't sit here and say that that match didn't happen.
Okay, all right, it's fair, but I didn't know you were going to point out that match.
It's literally, I swear to God, it's the only thing I remember happening in this man's run.
Sure, sure. We could just left out the theme song, Chris.
I'm look, that's that too. I could have just said I could have left as a theme song, but we're here now. We're here.
Here we are, talking about Tony Khan releasing this damn footage with the Young Bucks and then turning into a storyline for their show.
We're talking. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about Chris Hero because Chris Hero was there. He looked very flustered, very upset, and yeah, that was the footage. And then
And
Punk
Punk
and
lunged at
Joe.
Tony Khan as well.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that better.
I wish there was audio. Imagine the audio.
I would have liked to have heard everything that was said. Unfortunately, we didn't
Imagine
get.
they shoved mics in their faces as it was going on. This is good. This is good. This is good. Just record it for the time being.
No, CM Punk would have lost it if Tony Khan was sitting there and he said, "No, get that. We're gonna show this later. Come on, get that."
This is good for the documentary. All in. Greatest event of all time.
So, but anyway,
Because of
uh,
CM Punk. The
uh,
movie.
they could have done it. They could have.
Yeah.
So what this boils down to, that was the footage. It really wasn't interesting as you would have hoped it would be. We all made it sound more interesting than it really was. Um,
That's the first
kind,
thing that came to my mind. I was like, did we all freak out about this? This is what we
yeah.
freaked out about at the time.
They released it to try to embarrass CM Punk. It didn't work. If anything, it embarrassed Jack Perry, whose response was to go on New Japan and come out with the Chicago flag. And like, whatever,
And Crimea River Jack.
Yeah, the Grammy River jacket. Whatever, Jack. Whatever. I'm not a fan of Jack Perry, so to me, this was just funny.
It's getting better, I heard. He was getting better. I didn't watch that promo I was going to listen to because I wanted to see if it was getting better, but I didn't watch it because I forgot.
But my least favorite part about this whole thing is that right after the Young Bucks segment, they have FTR do my least favorite promo in the history of professional wrestling, which is when creative knows something is stupid and they know that they put out something stupid, so they have somebody else come out and say, "Well, that was stupid. Why'd you do that?"
They were trying to be so self-aware about it. They were like, so this is goes back to what you were saying, Chris. They knew they did something bad, and they knew the reaction on Twitter was going to be bad as well. So they were like, let's get in ahead of this before, let's just say what they're thinking, so that it seems like we're self-aware about this.
Which actually, it's worse that they're self-aware about it and they did it anyway because it shows that you knew it was dumb and you went and did it anyway.
Look, I think this could have gone a few ways, right? You could have leaked it to somebody without anybody knowing it was you, right? But they could have assumed it was you,
But
or
yeah,
or being the elite. I mean, that's just the place. That might be the place to do it, honestly. But they didn't do that either. So
yeah, I mean, I listen. If they leaked it, everyone would have known it was them. It would have been the worst kept secret in professional wrestling history. Y'all would have known it was them.
exactly, yeah.
But it would have been better than what they did.
Like I said, being the elite came to my mind the other day. I was like, they've been doing like this for years, basically taking shots at people in WWE and that they used to be friends with, stuff like that, right? So it's not out of the ordinary. They take shots at CM Punk or whatever,
But I
and
don't
then
think.
show the. And the way I was thinking, like they could splice in the footage
Mm.
rather than show it as its entirety and then make like jokes about it or whatever, like a memory from the past or something.
No, we were talking about it, man. They could have done a dramatic recreation with the Young Bucks playing Jack Barry and CM Punk respectively. Could have done a dramatic recreation. Didn't have to show the real footage. You could have just made it dumb and funny. We could have laughed at it, and it could have been a dumb Young Bucks thing. It would have been false advertising, but at least we could have all moved on with it. But now they
Yeah,
did something dumb.
it was one of the stupidest things I've seen a wrestling company do. And I hate to say it, but Tony Schiavone, you saw the way he was looking. He was
Yeah.
disappointed as fuck.
No,
And
no,
you
no.
know what?
I'm
I might
gonna
hate
have
that
to.
guy. All my homies might hate the
No,
guy, but you know what? We all felt the same way, Tony.
no. Listen, I'm still mad at Tony Schiavone because Tony Schiavone had the goddamn nerve to come out here and tell me and tell everyone else that actually he wasn't making that face because of that. It was because the Young Bucks did something heelish. And I don't know why you're lying
Oh
to
my god,
me.
this company fucking sucks. I swear to God, this company does not hide their emotions well.
We all know it was because Shivani looked at it. There's a side by side on Twitter, him making that exact same face in WCW when he knew shit was going downhill. I don't know why he's coming out here and saying no, it wasn't because of that. Don't worry about it. Like come on.
Look, here's the thing. Everyone's been saying for weeks, AEW is going downhill. Look, they're losing all these viewers. They're losing all these fans. The people, they're not in the arenas, right? Going to the shows. And, I don't know. I was like, okay, look, this isn't that big of a deal. They'll eventually get better and whatnot. But I feel like this just proved that they're on a different playing field. Like, they're not even on WWE's level at this point. They're not professional at all.
This is bad because Bully Ray, he put out his take and I read it and I said that he's right. Do you know how rare it is that Bully Ray is correct about something? You know how hard it is for that man to have a correct
So
take on
many
something?
people are going to be correct about this. Like, you can throw any name in there and they'll that you hate, a podcaster, whatever, wrestling name that
Yeah,
says something about this that you don't like, and they're going to be correct about it. So,
right. I mean, there's it's very rare to find somebody defending this, and if they are, it's because they are just one of those AEW tribalists that cannot admit when they've done something wrong. Now, look, I know what you're thinking. Well, now you're throwing that stuff around. Would you have done the same thing if WWE did it? Yes, we would have. If they did that, we would have done the exact same thing we're doing now. We'd be yelling about it here. I promise.
yeah, definitely. I think that if they did it, it'd be even like worse because they're at a larger scale than in AEW.
They're a larger scale. You expect better from them, especially with who's in charge. And
Yeah, and they're
yeah,
trying to go through a rebuild, and I mean, I feel like that would ruin that rebuild. So,
this whole episode came off as just being in poor taste. You know, they really just sold it on the one segment. Everything else was kind of mid. Right after the segment, you get Will Ospreay taking a shot at Triple H.
they
Like
saw this as a double shot because they figured, hey, we can take our shot at CM Punk, we can get some ratings. It's a win-win, right? But how long is that win going to be? It's going to be for one night. Next week is a whole other story. When you don't have something like that. Sure, you can say, oh, Tony Khan has a big announcement, but we've heard that before 1,000 times. So,
yeah, it's never big. It never really is that crazy.
yeah. So overall, I think they just have to get better at fucking making their product good and
But
make stories actually make sense and meaningful.
thing is, you may be thinking, why is it fine if WWE takes a shot? You don't talk about it that much. Why is it a problem that AEW does it? Because AEW, it's like it's like when MGK went after Eminem. We were talking about this earlier, me and you off the recording. It was
Yeah.
like that, MGK is not at Eminem's level. He should not be doing that because it's a mistake. And he knows it's a mistake, but he did it anyway, and it was stupid. And Eminem came back and he smacked him hard and he sent him out of rap. This is exactly like that. If WWE comes back and they decide, you know what, if this is how you want to be, screw you. We don't want anything to do with you. They've just burnt the bridge there. Any potential future collaboration Tony Khan may hope for or could have happened between these two because, it's Triple H in charge, more of a forward thinking attitude. You just burnt that bridge right there. Because why would I want to work with you if you're just attacking me week after week?
Let me tell you something though. Why would you not want to work with somebody who's clearly weaker than you, right? I mean, it's not like you're gonna give them a boost, right? Really. I guess you actually no, never mind. You will. It's not like Impact where no one like no decent amount of people watch it. So I suppose they could get to like 1 million, right? But who's to say?
No, listen, other than that, what's the incentive for WWE to do this?
I don't see any, honestly. With all this
Besides,
disrespect going around currently, I'm not seeing a way that this could end well for or they could work together at all.
you get talent you might not have gotten to work with otherwise. But besides that, what would WWE get out of this? Nothing really.
Yeah.
This is AEW doing its best. They don't know what to do anymore. They're losing ratings, they're losing fans. They don't know
It's
what to do.
desperation is what it is.
It's desperation. Again, I'm agreeing with Bully Ray, and I hate that I'm agreeing with him because I don't want to be that guy. But you forced me into this position, Tony, and I don't like it.
Yeah, unfortunately you've proved everybody right. is what happened. I mean, all the haters that you wanted to get back at, you proved them right at the end of the day.
Making me actively dislike AEW. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna have to be that guy.
It's that simple, really. I mean, you pull a goofy move like it's a goofy move, really, if you think about it.
There was a time, where AEW, I would have watched it weekly because it was the alternative and it was much better than what WWE was doing. It was better than whatever Vince was doing, but now Vince is gone. Triple H is here. Now you have to pivot, and this isn't where you pivot to.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a flop. It was a flop. The whole episode suffered because of it, and that's not what you want to see out of a company that needs to really. And they're trying to build stars here. They're trying to build Swerve to be a champion. It's not like that's gonna mean anything, right? Because it's
You
not
think
really feeling like it does. Hey,
they made me actively not care.
next to him, CM Punk. So
They made me actively not care about the potential of Swerve winning a World Heavyweight Championship. You know how hard that is?
that was one of the biggest stories going. Hangman Swerve, Samoa Joe, and now it's not. It's just not.
It's a real shame. It is. They did a 2 hour show. The only good thing on the show to us was Penta versus Adam Copeland for the TNT Championship. Other than that,
That was the opener.
that was the first real match on the show.
Yep. So I mean, it only went downhill
Yeah,
since then.
it's a real shame, but really bad week for AEW, an all time bad week for AEW.
Horrendous. And next week or this week, whatever it is, this week, it's probably not going to be much better. I feel like those ratings are going to be down because you know what happened? I think there's people that watch AEW that don't even know about this CM Punk thing, and now they do, and they're going to be like, "What the fuck even was this? And why is it like why is this happening?" And you know what? You use those people, and they're probably not going to tune back in. So
It's even worse. I was gonna be done with it, but I remembered Tony Khan said this whole thing made him scared for his life. This is what made you scared for your life, man.
I guess the
Um,
lunging at him part, right? But I don't
No,
think he would have killed him, man.
he's being restrained by two people. He's not gonna hit Tony Khan.
Yeah, he was being dramatic, I guess.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. But
Or I guess what he really should have said was like he felt like he was going to be harmed, right? But
you felt like you're in harm's way, fine. You felt like you were gonna be attacked, fine. But to say I felt like I was in mortal peril, like seriously,
yeah,
come
that
on.
was a bit much. It was a bit much. Now it's a meme. So
Now it is a meme. Now you're getting made fun of. You've done this to yourself. We spent 20 minutes ranting about this. We're gonna move on to something else.
it was a long time. It was so long, and we made a lot of points.
Something more interesting. Tama Tonga is in the bloodline now. Debuted on SmackDown. They kicked out Jimmy Uso. Solo Sikoa brought in Tama. And now no one knows what's going on there, but in a good way, because you're like, is Solo in charge now? Is he taking control of this whole thing? It's interesting. Excited to see where that's going. And it's something, like I said, it's going to be an interesting story.
Yeah, I think this is gonna rebuild the bloodline a little bit. Tama Tonga from New Japan, he's been there for years, as far as I can remember. Back he was in the Bullet Club when it was
Yeah.
cool,
He's in the Polo Club when it was
and when it
cool.
wasn't cool.
Yeah, that too. That
Yeah,
just shows you how long he was there.
exactly. So I mean, this is interesting. I don't know. I don't remember a time when I thought Tama Tonga was this interesting. So I think maybe he can do something special in WWE.
I do agree. And if this leads up to a Bullet Club, or not Bullet Club, Bloodline Civil War, 6-man tag or whatever at a War Games or a SummerSlam, I'm even more interested in it.
Yeah, I think this is cool, and I think Roman Reigns not being there and Solo being like, "Hey, I'm the guy now." You know what I mean? I'm taking control. That's pretty cool. Except he's a loser as well. So
That is my only, that's my only gripe about this.
yeah,
Is that ever since beating John Cena, he's been, what, 34-0 at this point? Or sorry, 0-34? It's
exactly. So I'm not sure how this is gonna. Or he's got to start winning matches. Okay, he's got to start destroying people like he's supposed to.
he better start kicking the crap out of people like he owes somebody rent, okay?
He's got to turn these non-fans into fans. That's what he's got to do. Not
I
fans.
don't
They hate him because he's a heel.
look, man. You got me already. You have an awesome theme song. I love it. You know, you look cool. You just got to start winning. That's
After a
all it
while,
is.
his theme song's gonna scream "Solar Sokoa," and then it's gonna be like
I
boom,
swear to
boom, boom,
God.
boom.
I swear to God.
Eight
They
count down,
changed.
scream it out loud.
It's the one theme song they've done well. One of the few they've done well. There is no reason to ruin it. Leave it
Yeah,
alone.
I don't know. I don't know.
Def Rebel.
That
God,
AJ Styles theme sucks. Okay, look, we can talk about
that
Death Rebel while we're here, while we're at it.
yeah, while
Might as
we're at
well.
it. They ruined it. We
Why does
talked
all
about
their
it.
songs suck?
Yeah, this you know what, this is a more laid back episode. Let's talk about Def Rebel, man. Fucking can't with them. We're watching WrestleMania. We talked about this in the WrestleMania review. If you didn't see it, go check that out. But then we talked about AJ Styles' new theme song. God awful. Starts off literally it's AJ Styles saying in this exact voice, "You don't want none." And I sat there and we sat there. We're like, "What in God's name is this abomination?"
Yeah, this is. I don't know. I was expecting at least a little something cooler. I don't know why I was expecting that, but it was either gonna be something really dope or something that sucks and should be thrown in the trash can.
I knew it was gonna be asked because it's Def Rebel. They have a 20/80 success loss ratio, man. It's not good.
Well, I didn't know it was Death Rebel, right? Like, I was like, maybe it could be someone else. Maybe they bought the rights to a song, but obviously they
No,
didn't do that.
they will tell you when they're doing that. They did not.
That's the issue. They don't buy rights to music, which is something AEW does well. I mean, we're gonna say something good about AEW. They buy rights to music and they have good theme songs.
No, no, it's not even that. It's literally just they have an incompetent in-house artist.
I mean, let's be honest. Ruckus is better than Death Rebel.
It's not a high bar. It really isn't a high bar. You can throw two of us in there. We could do something better than that. And we don't know anything about music.
Well, I'm gonna put on. I'm gonna make some good music. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Def
I'm gonna
Rebel
be in
is
the studio singing my own. I'm gonna sing the songs. I'm gonna make the beats.
Def Rebel is 5 moves away from literally theme songs just being fart sounds, cartoonish sound effects. Might as well at this point.
Yeah, honestly, it's gonna be like what was it? Tom and Jerry.
Exactly like that. And we're not even saying you gotta buy music. I know it's expensive. I understand that. Just get CFO back, man. Just get him back.
Not even. I don't give a fuck who it is. CFO. For what they did good. They did some stuff that was bad, right?
Most of it's
So
good.
Jim Johnston was the top tier
Get Jim
creator of
Johnston back.
music. He's the best of all times, and he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Get Jim Johnston back. But if you can't get Jim Johnston back, you get CFO back. If you can't get CFO back, find somebody else.
Just get
Or
someone else. I mean, who is worse than Def Rebel? And that's a question that you need to answer, Triple H. Well, you shouldn't answer. Maybe you actually answer who's better than Def Rebel.
look, man, we're not gonna sit here and advocate for somebody to lose their jobs. That's not what we do here. What we'll say is Triple H, you
Find
gotta have a
someone else.
stern talking to with these guys over there. And if they ain't gonna clean their act up, you gotta find somebody else.
How
Because
does
I can't do
conversation go? You're making garbage music right now. If you could just not make garbage music, that would be cool. Thanks.
you sit them down, you make them listen to that, and you ask them after every song, you
No,
think
you
this is a good idea?
would you listen to this if you were just
On your off,
chilling?
on
Yes.
your
If you was chilling, would you listen to this shit or would you listen to this shit and play some like Jim Johnston shit? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And if they say they listen to their stuff, unless it's one of the good ones, they're lying. Okay, and you
And
ask them immediately.
that's when you make your decision right there.
They say they would listen to fucking Aaliyah's theme song in the gym. Then you kick him out, you fire him immediately.
Exactly. And then Triple H leaves to Motorhead and seals the deal.
Is Motorhead even still around? Do they still do stuff after Lemmy passed away? I don't know.
I don't know. I was gonna say I thought they died. So
The lead singer did,
yeah, I don't think so.
but we're gonna move on to one of our last topics before a little final segment. Um, Earlier today, it was unveiled that last Monday, Rhea Ripley was injured in an attack by Liv Morgan. Obviously not intentionally. accidents happen. But what I do want to know is, where were you last Monday?
I was at my house, Chris.
You were at your house. Number one Liv Morgan fan over here. I just want to know where you were, what you were doing.
Well, where
Um,
was Raw?
were you in the Philly area?
Well, I did eat a Philly cheesesteak, but I was at my house, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
I don't know. I don't know what you're asking me, man.
Do you see any bells? Any cracked bells on Monday?
I saw some bells, yeah.
Some bell was it cracked?
Uh, look, I'm not a snitch, so
Not a snitch. Oh well, we're okay. Well, unfortunately, Rhea Ripley seems to be facing
I
some
don't
sort
speak
of
on
injury.
narcotics. You know what I mean?
Well, Rhea Ripley seems to be facing some kind of injury and might have to vacate the title, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah, yeah.
well, I don't understand it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, what was that? Yeah, yeah thing. What are you plotting
I
over?
don't know what you're saying. I don't know I don't know why you keep questioning me about this. You know, that's unfortunate, really.
Man, say it like you mean it, then,
I wonder
God.
who the next champion's gonna be. You know?
Man, you put down
Oh,
that poster of Liv Morgan. You stop that.
darn.
You
It's,
put you put down your Liv Morgan T-shirt, man. Just stop it, bro. Come on.
but look,
Any
I'm gonna keep going.
man, feel any amount of shame right now, Christ. Um,
Don't mention Jesus.
I'm trying to figure out this. Why does she gotta relinquish? How bad is this injury that she's gotta relinquish this belt?
Um, I don't know. I mean, uh, what was it that got injured?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Must be bad, like enough that she's probably gonna miss a few months at least, right?
Well, what I'm saying is, if Roman Reigns uninjured could miss a couple months with the title, how bad is this?
Well, the thing
Yeah,
is, you have so you already have a part-time champion in Logan Paul, right?
I
I don't
guess.
know if they want to have one women's champion be part-time or not part-time, but just not wrestle at all.
No, I can see that argument.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Now, I
feel a
mean,
little weird about it.
it must be a while. I mean, let's be honest.
Now, look, I'm not saying that Roman not wrestling was a Triple H call. I'm just saying you gotta look at history here.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying. Like the Seth Rollins approach, you know?
Exactly. Seth Rollins approach. So that man had, what, 2 months where he didn't wrestle and defend the title?
Yeah. It must have been crazy. It must have been like a freak accident.
Yeah, very sincere over there. Anyway, before we do end this, I do want to say we do a segment here sometimes called Wrestling Segment of the Week. And for this week, obviously, I got to give it to Cody finishing his story at WrestleMania. It's impossible not to. But this week, we're doing a first
Let's
here.
give him a whoa, Chris. Let's give him a whoa.
Give him a whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But first time ever, I got him bust out the worst wrestling moment
Why are
of
you
the
busting
week.
on these fucking podcasts, Chris?
I gotta bust it out, man. I gotta bust it.
All right. I can't argue with that.
And the worst wrestling segment of the week goes right to AEW with
Yeah. Wait,
the
whoa.
all-in footage.
No, I mean, no. Boo.
What do you mean, no, boo? You better be booing that segment.
I'm booing the segment, Chris. It's
I
too
hope so.
bad. Yeah. And the best wrestling moment of the week, Liv Morgan becomes champion.
Man, that's not happening.
Yay.
Stop.
Oh,
What is your problem?
all right.
Bro, put the Liv Morgan action figure down, bro.
It's down, man. It's down.
Why'd you bring like a Liv Morgan merch to the pod in the first place?
I'm a big fan.
Like, you didn't even know we were talking about this till like 30 minutes ago. Why'd you have it ready?
I got a small room, Chris. I mean, everything's in arm's reach.
All right, well, anyway, that is this week's Wrassle Recap,
Okay, so I just uncovered my autographs from years ago.
such as AJ Styles t-shirt signed by AJ
No,
Styles.
no, that one got faded. Like the autographs faded on that one.
What did you do? You wash it? What did you do?
No, I didn't. No, that's the thing. I didn't even wash it. It just got faded.
All
But
right,
I
what is
have
it?
the AJ autograph. I have the picture with AJ. I have a Dean Ambrose that you gave me. I have the Shinsuke I got from 2K.
Hmm.
So, that's everything I have.
It's a nice little collection right there.
I gotta frame them all. And I want to find that shirt too.
You gotta find it. But yeah. In the meantime, that's
AJ
gonna.
touched that shirt.
He touched it. You touched his title, and he lost that title.
I wonder how.
I wonder. You have a fun little history of being around when these things happen. I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't know. I'm about
Well,
to win
anyway,
these predictions, Chris.
one time he guesses Liv Morgan is gonna be correct.
It's gonna be right.
But anyway, that is Wrassle Recap for this week. Don't know if there'll be one next week, but for now, that's the end of this one.
Yes, go follow us where you possibly can. Every single social media platform, podcasting platform. 5-star reviews. Please go leave those. Subscribe, like, comment, share. We'll see you next one. Bye.